What's up, everyone? This is Saiyan91 back with a replay for you all, believe it or not. Yes, this is a replay of my 20th Let's Play Chrono Trigger. Now, some things are going to be different. Most notably, the quality. Because back then, I did not know exactly how to say check my videos after they've been done. Assuming that they come out perfectly, which more than often they didn't. So this time they're going to be in a much better quality and more consistent. Because back then, we had... Well, you won't be able to check now because the old videos are gone, considering I got rid of them. And trust me, you weren't missing out on much. Enter a name. We'll just put in the name that I put in last time. And I didn't do this out of a request or anything, and apparently I cannot type today. There we go. Yeah, back then there were some that had no sound, so I had to kind of Frankenstein them together with some music clips and or kind of screw around with the video. But now I'm gonna give the game the proper recording it deserves. The other differences that I'm gonna be doing in the game are changing a couple of the game's character names. Now, what do I mean by that? In the original, everyone was named after a Let's Player, but this time, two of them, Frog and Magus, or Magus, however you pronounce it, whichever way you want to pronounce it, those names are going to be changed. Originally they were named Di and Alex, based off of Almax Hacks, but considering that those guys really don't seem to be doing very much, I don't know what they're up with, like school stuff, or God knows whatever. I'm not doing that to be disrespectful and say, oh, they suck, don't watch them. They're cool guys, so you should watch them. But I feel like my changes will be a bit more... What the hell is the word I'm trying to look for? A bit more thematic to the story. And Luca, we're going to keep the pronunciation of your name the same, but you'll be named after Luca Jin. And Azra Blade is named, or Azra is named after Azra Blade 49, who you should be watching at this point. And I'm actually going to head over here to the forest, just to show you guys off the battle system of the game, in case you haven't seen this game before. In which case, what the hell is wrong with you? Why haven't you seen this game before? Let's attack some mushrooms. Just for the hell of it. I don't know if the other people do this first, but I'm going to. The system is very akin to Final Fantasy, more in lines of like Final Fantasy VI, in a way. Mainly because of the style and how they look. But what sets the game apart is, obviously, you can actually see the enemies. And number two, the game has things called techs, short for techniques. In order to get techniques, you need tech points. Nothing in the bush. And the more tech points you get, the faster you'll be able to learn those techniques. And if I can learn one soon enough. If you see a flash on screen when you attack an enemy, that signifies a critical hit. And it will do double damage of your normal attack points. Like so. And it can take a lot of points in order to learn a certain move, especially later on. But with each time you level up, you get more and more access to moves. By the time you hit, I think, level 40 or so, you should be able to have all the moves in your repertoire. And I'll show off one of the techniques. If the beetles look come closer, there we go. Cyclone attacks all enemies in like a circular pattern. It does a little bit more damage than your normal attack does. As for when I'm going to be recording this or when I'm going to be putting this up, this will be going on every other day that I'm doing my Persona 4 Let's Play on. Why the hell can I spin cut any of them? So one day you'll have Persona and the next day you'll have Chrono Trigger. Pretty simple to figure out. One of the cooler things in the game, I think, is that in every era that the game takes place in, there are new enemies to fight. Like here we got mushrooms and beetles, but in a different place there's going to be like goblins or imps and that sort of thing. So you're not necessarily fighting the same guys twice. In case you're wondering, this is going to be just like the old playthrough, where I went through every single side quest and got all the items, the rare items. Trust me, if you want to fight levels easily, you want these items. And we're just going to head back to Chrono's bed for a snooze so I can recover all my stuff. And then we'll head over to the carnival. Or the fair, as they call it. It's the same damn thing. Lean Square. Line. Is it Lean or Line? I'm pretty sure it's Line. Here we are at the fair. We can buy stuff. Let's buy a few tonics, which are essentially potions at this point. Heals are like Isunas or remedies from the Final Fantasy games. They heal your status. Revives are like the Phoenix Downs, and shelters are essentially tents. Easy to remember, as long as you compare it to something else. If you're wondering why it takes so long to load, this is actually the PSN version of the game. Which means that it's going to take a little bit before it can actually load. Around the fair, you can see some carnival games like hitting this bell. Just wait till you're near the tree in order to hit the damn thing. Come on, I just did it 2 times before. There we go. But really, the points don't matter. To quote whose line is it anyway? Because you can only get certain things in this area. I can only buy one, of course. I'll get the helm because it's cheaper. And as you might expected, along the way you get more and more effective items like weapons, defensive armor. And down here you get accessories, which will do quite a lot actually. They increase your attack, they increase your speed, they give you certain effects, they allow you to counter moves, they increase the evasiveness. Hello. Da! You rammed right into me! I think I broke my leg. No, I'm fine. Here you go. Yeah, sure, you can tag along. since the main guy is named Azra, we can name this one Lily, since if you really haven't been acquainted with them, those two are an item. Let's just say that. Let's walk around a bit. Where's my cat? Oh, your cat is over here. When you talk to the cat, make sure that you actually walk back to the girl, otherwise you'll scare the cat off for some reason. And he gets stuck on a table and everything else. So you gotta walk the cat all the way back to its owner. This will affect the story a little bit later on, but it's not that big of a deal. You can do it or you can choose not to. I mean, you don't get anything from it. Nothing substantial anyway. And we're going to avoid that bag to go back here. Find a giant cat robot named Gato. Beat him up and get 15 silver points. Yeah, at this stage we should be able to take him out relatively easily. It's the beginning of the game, for God's sake. They get punched in the face by a boxing glove. And, thankfully enough, just about every character has their own method of attack. Chrono, which I'll call him just for the sake of summary, Chrono has katanas, Marl, or Lily, has bows, and so on and so forth. They don't use the same weaponry. And some characters, like the female characters, have different armor than the male characters, which further cements them from each other. No, I don't want to go back there. To me, it seems like the PSN version is a little better than the original, considering that it's not running on the original hardware, so it should be able to speed things up a little bit. Yeah, they just give you money. Now we're going to go down here and actually get to the next sequence of the game. Let's talk to this girl, and the top area should be open to you. And at this point, you don't want to push or press anything like on the directional pad, because you'll get her angry, and this will affect the story a little bit later. But once she says you want something, then you're ready to go. Let's go see Luca's invention. A super dimensional warp. It's just a teleporter. Yeah, I think anyone who's a fan of sci-fi will know how a teleporter works, Tabin. Yes, that's the guy's name. I'm man enough, I can do it. Let me step onto that pad. Apparently you get the system on by swinging a hammer at the lever. That makes sense. Good thing a fly wasn't anywhere near there. Do you want to try it out? What are you trying to say, Luca? And I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Luca or not Lucia or anything like that. Or for me, what makes you think that it won't work for her, dude? All systems go. Uh-oh. Spinning out of control. No! And she turns into sparkles. Nah, she's fine. She just gets transported away to a different era. It's kind of one of the few pet peeves I have about the game. There aren't that very many eras to go through. I think there's about 5 or 6 of them. One of them becomes inaccessible and kind of pointless after a while, so it's really like more like 5. I got this. Let's go after her. I'm all over it. Just make sure I come back in one piece. I'm giving her all she's got. The ending's kind of take it. Yeah, who didn't see that joke coming? Or you know you could jump in now. Nope, no you can't. Way to go, genius. This is kind of trippy, and I think I like it. Now we seem to be in the mountain range. Surrounded by imps, who look suspiciously like Emperor Pilaf from Dragon Ball. I think they meant to do that because the character designer of the game is none other than Dragon Ball creator himself, Akira Toriyama. I'm pretty sure he designed some of the monsters too. Get out of here. I'm not getting my ass kicked by you little twerps. Don't seem to give me very many tech points, just like the last ones didn't. Better heal myself before I get my ass kicked by freaking lawn gnomes. There we go, that should be good enough. And I'll explain the menu once we come near the end of the video. Hell, I didn't even talk about the controls yet. Obviously, the control pad, you can't use the stick. To move around, you hold down the circle button while moving to run, and also cancels things. Kinda obvious. The X button is mainly to examine stuff and to accept things. The square button will be used later, and the triangle button opens up your menu. And also the square button will arrange this battle message at the end. Meantime, let's check out some chests. See what's inside. Power glove. No, the joke is too obvious. No. We're gonna take all these guys out in one shot. It's doable. If you can get close enough, if you can get the enemies close enough to each other, you can easily take them out. It's another thing about the game that's kind of its own thing, that the position of the enemies kind of determines how well your attack will go off. Like, obviously with the Cyclone, the enemies have to be close enough to each other in order for them to be all cut down. Another one later on will actually depend on how much in a line they are. It's weird, but I kind of like it. Now let's go over here and see, ooh, a shiny. A power tab. That is actually kind of a useful, very useful thing. It's kind of like those power-ups you see in Kingdom Hearts, like the power-up, the defense up, and the AP up. Except here, it's up. They're only power-up, speed up, and magic up. And we won't be getting magic until a bit later. Now we got goblins on, whatever the hell those things are supposed to be. Your guess is as good as mine. Apparently they can turn the balls, though. It's good enough for me. And these series of videos are going to be a bit more like my regular timed video, so it's going to be about a little bit less than 30 minutes, as opposed to my Persona playthrough, which is almost an hour. So you don't have to wait too long to have things happen here. And also, this is my 4th playthrough of the game. Like, all the way through from beginning to end. I'm not counting the times where you gotta go and get the other endings. So, I know the game pretty much inside and out at this point. And let's go up here and get ourselves a shelter from wherever the hell that was. And so, instead of beetles and mushrooms, we just got goblins. It's pretty much all that there is. Goblins, imps, they're pretty much the same thing. And slash your face. And these guys are pretty much acting as one entity, so you don't need to worry about having to kill one and then having one disappear and one still being alive. At least not yet, anyway. Let's fight a little bit more, and then I'll close up shop for the day. Can I get 2? That's bull. Sometimes you will be able to hit the other guy, but it kind of seems random at times. But you want to get rid of these guys as soon as possible. Like, right? How the hell am I not able to hit all 3 of them? No sense. No, I'm out of magic points. Smack that bitch up, Chrono. It kind of screws with the game, considering the fact that it's Chrono and not with an H. Even though we know it's obviously got to be Chrono, because the game is essentially named after him. But I digress. The game only has a 5-character limit, unlike Final Fantasy, which had a 6-character limit. And that kind of screws things up. But whatever. I'm going to pop over to the inn in order to rest myself. Because that's that seems to be what you do at inns most of the time. And about that black box, that needs to be explored in the future. So there's nothing we can do with it for now. Sealed by mysterious force. Yeah, we won't be getting what's in those boxes, because there's several in the game. Until much later. But I think I will explain the menu before I finally end this part off. And also, between this and the next part, I'll be trading off screen. I'll get to about level 6, so I can be a bit more prepared for what lies in the future. This is your status screen, displays all your main stats, your items, your weaponry. Well, mainly weaponry. This is your items. You can organize, move them however you wish. And I should really put on that power glove. No, I'm still not making the joke. And this is the technique screen. See what techniques you learned and which ones you're trying to learn. I will be learning slash off screen, but I will show off how it works. Dual attacks, you need 2 people to do those. And triple attack, obviously you need 3 people. Your config screen, you can config certain things about the game, like how fast it goes, your gauge speed at least, and your message speed. The color of your window, I prefer it to be that, so it can be a bit more vibrant. Which kind of battle mode you want, active or waiting. Basically, waiting is that whenever you're in a menu, the enemies don't attack you. That's basically it. If you want info on the items or skills, I recommend you keep that on. Now, I really don't see the difference between Gauge 1 and 2. So let's put on 2 just to see what the difference is. You can change the controls. And that's about it. And swap menu, when you get more people in your party, you can swap them out for others. And this one is the save. And I think that'll just about do it. So next time when Let's Play Chrono Trigger, we'll be stronger and we'll search what's inside that castle over there. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace!